YouTube, it's your boy, B3, back with another kicking Toku TV review. Yeah, we actually have, a fun little show for y'all today. But it's not my favorite Kamen Rider show. It's Kamen Rider Decades. This is the 19th Kamen Rider show ever, and the 10th Heisei Kamen Rider show. And since it was the 10th one, they did this 10th anniversary of Heisei Kamen Rider, where Decade, went to all these places. Okay, so Kamen Rider Decade is a Toku show from Toei. And, of course, the name is not subtle. It is the 10th anniversary, as I said, from Kuga all the way to Decade, right after Kiva. And it aired around the same time as Shinkenger, Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, which it did cross over with, by the way, because he went to a reality with no riders, and he just crossed over with the Shinkengers. So, it revolves around the universes of the Heisei Riders, but they're alternate realities to the Heisei Riders, right? So they aren't the same as the continuities from the show. Because if they were the same as the continuities from the show, some riders like Blade wouldn't exist anymore, you know? And apparently all these realities are trying to merge into one, which would destroy all of the worlds. And then to prevent that, Kamen Rider Decade, whose name is Tsukasa Kyoda, travels to all these worlds to get rid of anomalies, but he's also looking for his own world. And he has this camera, and he takes pictures of the worlds with the camera, and if the pictures come out blurry, apparently it's not his universe. He could just be a bad photographer, but I think that's kind of a cool thing. Because of the vibrational frequencies from a different universe, cameras from another universe can't take good pictures. And that kind of makes sense to me in a weird, dumb, sci-fi physics way. But then there's also this character called Narutaki who, follows Decade around, and he seemed kind of cool and mysterious at the beginning of the show, but by the end of the show, he was just dumb. And he still shows up to this day, every time Decade makes a guest appearance. And it's like, Narutaki, fucking get over Decade, dude. Chill out. He's not the Destroyer anymore. You're obsessed. Damn. And then there's Kamen Rider D-End, Daike Kaito, and he's pretty cool also, because he is like a thief that travels from dimension to dimension, right? And he steals all the biggest treasures from each dimension, but he's not like a bad guy. He's just not really a good guy either. And he's really cool. Even to this day, he's still pretty cool. Even if he betrayed everybody for no reason in Superhero Taisen. But also okay, so D-End is the secondary rider for this show. But then Kamen Rider Kuga from the alternate Kuga dimension follows Decade across dimensions. And it's so stupid. Because Kuga almost never transforms to fight alongside Decade. Decade does it all almost by himself. And Kuga's just kind of like a loser wimp almost. He's dumb. He's really dumb. And I don't like him. Decade Kuga is just bad. But he's not a reflection of what Kuga's normally like, because they're all alternate realities. And most of the alternate realities are pretty stupid. I mean, I've already reviewed Kamen Rider Ryuki. It's about all these riders fighting a war through this mirror universe to see who will be the last one standing and all this stuff, and it's really cool. But then the Ryuki dimension in Decade is just, all the riders are lawyers, and whoever wins the fight, their client gets off scot-free. What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's so stupid. You got Kiva. Kiva is literally a child in this. Fucking Turbo Blue or something. He's a child. What the hell? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? There are a couple cool ones, like the Agito one's kind of cool. The Kabuto one is kind of cool. But they're not like the Kabuto one could have been better. I actually did like the Agito one a lot though. But the Kabuto one could have been a little better, but it wasn't so bad. And then I don't want to get into every single universe, but it's weird. And the way he travels across universes is by this like coffee shop cafe place, which just happens to be able to hop dimensions for some reason. Why though? Why does it do that? It's and Decade has this cool power where he can transform into any of the Heisei riders, and that's a cool power, I guess. It's kind of a power that would be copied later on. Like in lots of special things, like movies and stuff, riders can get a form based on a previous rider or something. Um, like Ghost had all those things where he could get cloaks that looked like previous riders and stuff. And then like Gaim and Drive had forms of each other. You know what I mean. And then we got Zeo right now, which is basically just another decade, to be completely honest. I've only seen the first 4 episodes of that show so far, but I'll get to it. I think I'm just going to wait till the show's over to finish it. And then they also have Kivala, which is like a female version of Kiva's driver, but we never see it turn anyone into a Kamen Rider until a movie. And that's another big complaint I have about this show. It doesn't end. When the show ends, the story is not over. You don't get to see how it all wraps up. You have to watch like 2 movies to finish the story. What? Finish the story in the show. If you want to have a side story or a natural progression of it in a movie, that's fine. Finish the story in the show though. Come on. Come on. This is I'm just not about that. I'm not about that. So, I like Decade's design and his gimmick, and his character is not even bad. I like the whole destroyer angle. It's not so bad. I just don't think it was a good show. I like Decade as a writer, but as a show, I don't really recommend it. If you want to watch all the other Heisei Kamen, if you're like say you're watching Kamen Rider in order, eventually you'll get to Decade, and do watch it eventually. But don't start on it. Probably don't make it one of the first Rider shows you watch. If you want to start on a Heisei Rider show, like from the first half of Heisei, start on maybe like Kabuto or Ryuki or something. Those are the 2 big ones that I recommend. Lots of people will say Kuga just because he's the first one. There are a lot of good riders out there. And Decades, once again, I don't think he's a very bad rider. I like his design. His character's not bad. He's just a passing through Kamen Rider. Looking for a place to die. Looking for a place to belong. But his show's not good. It's not good. I know almost every Kamen Rider show I've talked about I've liked, except, maybe Agito. But, yeah, this is the first Kamen Rider show I'm coming straight out and telling you guys I don't like it. I do not like Kamen Rider Decade's show. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. If you want to support our own tokusatsu show, Toku King, there are links in the description below, like Indiegogo and Patreon, where you can support that. There are rewards for both. So thank you all once again, and I'll see y'all later next time when I review yet another Kamen Rider.